Good morning, Unity Palo Alto. We are steeped in that goodness today, yes? We are steeped in that joy, that love. We were held in that sphere of love today. Are you ready to make this the best year? To make 2024 the best year yet? All right, there's about half of us. The rest of you, come along. Here's our journey. We are here because regardless of what situations or what's happening in your life, you are always held in that consciousness, that awareness, that endless energy of love that Margot sang about. God is always holding you. You are always immersed in the ever-presence of God, and God is immersed in you because God is in you like the ocean is in the wave. And we are here to express that energy as the wave. So this is the time where we are going to focus on creating the best year. Because the last few years, I judge as not quite the best yet. How about you? Are you ready for something a little bit different? A little bit better? Well, that's the beauty of it, because you have everything you need within you in this very moment to create the best year yet. Because God is in you like the ocean is in the wave. Now, the word best is rather subjective. So let's first take a discussion about this idea, this word best. You know, recently every year there's an article published in our local magazine that has like the best burger in our city. And, you know, sometimes I agree with it, and sometimes I think they're a little cuckoo, because it's clearly not always the best burger. Have you noticed that? That sometimes what someone else thinks is the best thing, they're just off their rockers. They don't know what they're talking about, because clearly I know what the best thing is. So best is very subjective. You know, I think one of my favorite desserts, the best dessert for me, is a cheesecake. And the best cheesecake in the world, hands down, is my friend Peachy's cheesecake. She makes the best cheesecakes ever, except for the one that's right in front of me whenever I have cheesecake. Because sometimes we are judging what we're having based on what we think it should be. And we're not taking advantage of the good, the deliciousness of our cheesecake that's right in front of us. Now, are there any cheesecake lovers in there? Yes. So you all know what I'm talking about here. The rest of them, they don't know what dessert's all about. But the best dessert is cheesecake. Now, cheesecake, the idea of best is subjective, but here's the thing about the cheesecake, Peachy's cheesecake. The last time I had it, and I can remember it very vividly, it was on my birthday, and I had this large cheesecake. It was on the corner of our table. I had friends over. You know, we were getting ready to have cheesecake birthday cake thing. Yeah, cheesecake for birthday cake. And I'm sitting there, we're getting ready, we're singing happy birthday, and I look down, and there's my dog, Kona. Now, Kona was a black lab whose head stood about this tall, and his tongue was at least 5 feet long, I'm sure of it. And here's Kona. He looks at me, this tongue goes whoosh, takes this nice swipe off the side of it, and he immediately goes to the back door, and he looks at me as if to say, yeah, I know, and it was worth it. So, there's my beautiful, perfect cheesecake. The whole tongue slather on one side of it. Yeah, that's right, it is still good. We sliced up that part. I didn't give the rest of it to Kona because that wouldn't have been healthy for my dog like it's healthy for me. So I sliced up that piece and we joyfully ate the cheesecake. And boy, we had stories to tell about that for a long, long time. So was it bad? No, it just is. And boy, it was a lot of fun to talk about it. So this year we've had our Whitestone service, and we've talked about this idea of who you've come here to be, and what do you want to express more of in your life. And in Unity, we talk a lot about this idea of your better self, your best self, your Christ self, your noble self, your authentic character. Oh my goodness, give it a rest, would you, Riley? Because sometimes that can feel a little daunting. At least for me it is sometimes. Because all the time I don't feel like I'm always at my best. And here's the point. In Margot's song, you are held in the love of Spirit. The harmonizing energy of Spirit is flowing through you even then. Even then. And so to know in that moment, I am still held in God. I'm still the product of love. I am loved by God. I am the expression of that harmonizing energy. I am powerful. And though I may not feel like it right now, and though things may be happening in my life, and though I may feel sad and angry and all of those things, it's okay. Because I know deep down inside, below all of those things, there is the foundation of love. There is the foundation of the energy and the power within us of faith to bring out that love. There is the foundation of inner peace. The foundation of inner bliss is all there within us. All intelligence, all wisdom, ready for us in any moment of the day. And so our goal in making this the best year is just having an intention to bring that forward, to allow that to come out within us. And whatever it looks like as it comes out, remember, it is subjective. I love this quote from Selma Hayek. She says, people often say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I say that the most liberating thing about beauty is realizing that you are the beholder. This empowers us to find beauty in places where others have dared not look, including inside ourselves. What a beautiful message for us. To know that no matter what, there is beauty within us. That is the divine essence within us. And we just need to lean into that and allow that beauty to shine, to look for that beauty within us. That's it. So in those times when we release and let go of those things that are bothering us, we allow and we draw upon that inner beauty, inner wisdom, and we just allow it, we marinate in it, right? We allow it to be a part of us. We don't always have to understand it. We don't have to know the words. We don't have to have a clear intellectual understanding. Just allow it to percolate in your heart. You are beautiful. You have that best self within you, and it is there yearning to be expressed. So one of the first steps in this practice of becoming and creating the best year is to begin with gratitude. To begin with gratitude. Gratitude is an energy that opens us up to Spirit so easily and gently and effortlessly. So begin with gratitude. If you want to create a year that is the best, look at last month. What was the best thing about December? What was the thing you most appreciated about December? What event, what thing, what experience, what state of mind, what thing in December was the best for you? So take a moment to draw upon that idea. What happened last month that was wonderful? And if it takes a little bit of time to think about it, that's okay, because no, that's our human behavior, right? Oh yeah, that was good, but, all this other stuff happened too. So yeah, that's good. Cut out the but and just focus on that good. To allow that energy to flow through you, and so you can recognize there is good in your life. So every month, this year, find something that was good at the end of the month. What was good in the last few weeks? What was good last week? What was good today, at the end of the day? What was good in your life? And allow that energy, that goodness, to be the foundation through which you live your world. Because, as Joe said, that thing called the law of mind action, that those things that we think about, that lens through which we are seeing the world, is how we experience our lives and what we create in the world and how we create. So when we come from that standpoint of what was good, we are already ahead of the game in creating a great year, a great experience, a wonderful time, even amongst the times that seem dark. This is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, and give thanks continuously. every good thing that comes to you. Every good thing. I think, Joe, was this you? We were talking about the good things in life and giving thanks for the sun and giving thanks for the breath and giving thanks for the whatever, the car. What else? Give me some more words, quick. The road. The people who build the road. The sand underneath the road that creates the rocks, the food that gets created to feed the people who created the road so that you can drive on it, the people who created your car, and that wonderful thing called the tire, the wheel. I don't know who that guy was, but I tell you, he had something there. B.F. Goodrich. I don't think he created the tire. Mr. B.F. we'll call him. So what else is good in your life? Look for the good and where you can find it. I think there's a second part. And from Emerson, because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. Everyone take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. This is a beautiful saying in the Bible, for all things be grateful. It does not say in all things be grateful. It does not say be grateful for the stuff that's happening in your life. But what it says is find the gratitude in it, because it is there to help you grow. If you choose to let it, if you choose to see it that way and embrace it and say, okay, here is a pile of sand. Now, of shaving cream. Here's a pile of shaving cream. I can shave with it, but what else are we going to do with it? How are we going to learn from it? How are we going to grow from it? If you can look for what you can be grateful in that moment, and it may not be it may be the support of friends during it. It may be the internet to give you some suggestions on how to cope with it. It may be, a way through it, a prayer, a practice. But find something to be grateful in all things and begin the day with gratitude and end the day with gratitude. I think the next step is to have a beginner's mindset, because so often we come to this idea of this is what I want to be, this is what I want to experience more of, maybe more love, less frogs, maybe more joy, maybe more power, more presence, more connection, more whatever it is that we're searching for and looking for in a life. Begin with a beginner's mindset. Because if we're searching for it, it's already there waiting for us. So have the mindset of, I have no idea where it's going to come from. So instead of expecting someone else in your life to do the things you want them to do, to create that in you, have that beginner mindset. I wonder where this is going to come from. Have a beginner's mindset, because sometimes, sometimes we think we know everything about it. I know all about it. Here's the right way to do it. Here's the only way to do it. And when you come at it from that mindset, there's no place to grow. There's no place to go. So look at that and say, okay, I'm going to set my beliefs aside and have a beginner mindset. How else can I view this idea of what I want to become and how I want to create this best world? What mindset am I willing to change so that I can create a different outcome in my life? And that's all it really is. It's finding that one mindset that you're willing to let go of and allow something else to emerge. Listen to that wisdom of your intuition, that divine wisdom. Listen to that, the calling of your heart. And allow that idea to emerge within you. And allow it to be a part of who you are. Eckhart Tolle once said, "You do not become good by trying to be good, but by finding the goodness that is already within you and allowing that goodness to emerge. But it can only emerge if something fundamentally changes in your state of consciousness." So what are we going to let go of? Fear, the worry about what someone thinks about us that causes the fear, the belief that we're not good enough that creates the sense of not enough, that I can't do it in my life. The idea of, wonder what everyone else thinks about me and they're saying about me. versus what is John saying the truth of me is? What is God saying the truth of you is? That idea within you that you are good, you are spiritually whole, you are powerful beyond belief, you are the radiant light of the world. All of those messages are who you are. And if we just leaned into it just a little bit more, just leaning into it just a little bit more, we can express more of it in our life. So how would that show up? Maybe I'd be a little kinder. Maybe I'll be a little more understanding, a little less judgmental, a little less quick to snap, a little less trying to be the hero, trying to be the expert, and being more listening, connecting with each other, allowing that idea of whatever we're thinking about ourselves or about the world to shift a little bit so we can see it through a different light. So imagine what the world would be like if you leaned into that just a little bit more. Think about your life right now. Think about how it might shift just a little bit if you leaned into that idea of being a little bit more patient. Just a little bit. I mean, there are going to be numbskulls out there, right? They're going to be the knuckleheads. It's okay. What about just a little more patience in there? They're going to be the people who know what's right for you, and maybe there's some wisdom in it. So just listen and then take it into your heart and discern, rather than trying to push them away. I have a 15-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old son, and they're both in the realm of expanding and moving away. But the one thing, I don't know how they learned it. It's got to be my wife, Tiffany. But somehow they learned, Ray was having just a terrible day. It was the first production at Dance Connection yesterday. They had their first production. It's a benefit for their nonprofit and to help bring dance to the world. And she had 9 dances over 3 acts yesterday. And somewhere along the line, you could see that she was very angry. And Tiffany said, yeah, she was really upset, but she's learned how to cope with it. She's like, I can't get the thing out of my backpack, and trying to get tap shoes aren't working. Excuse me, would you move your hand, please? Slamming the shoes in the backpack. But that moment of clarity of, excuse me, Mom, would you please move your hand? And then allowing the rage. And then she started laughing at herself because she can observe herself being angry and being polite at the same time. It's doable. And neither of them are wrong. It's just what she was in the moment. And that's the thing about the best year, is that wherever you're at in this moment is where you're at. And as soon as you realize that, you have the awakening of, oh, okay, let me observe that and see if I can apply something different. See, if I can lean in to my love and my compassion, my sense of being polite for a moment, and see how that shifts you. It's just being the best you is just simply leaning into that idea of who you've come here to be, leaning into that better self that you all know you have and what it is, just leaning into it just a little bit more, seeing it from a new view. And as you see life from a new view, you experience life as a new you. You experience life differently. Felix, would you bring up our affirmation? I'm going to read this and then invite you to affirm it with me. I give freely of the best that is within me, and I draw to myself the blessings of God. Would you affirm that with me together? I give freely of the best that is within me, and I draw to myself the blessings of God. And so it is. It's really just leaning into that better self a little bit more. The best of you is who you are in this very moment, noticing it and allowing this new you, this new idea to come forth, to be present to you, so that you shift your perspective. And when you do, the view of the world shifts completely. Let's take this into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or soften your gaze as we begin to move into the interior realm of spirit within us. Closing out all of the external variables in the world allowing our mind to settle, our emotions to settle, our body to settle. We take a deep breath, and focusing on our feet, we feel the earth beneath us. Feel gravity grounding us in this very moment. And as we feel centered, we breathe into this present moment and allow our thoughts to settle. Whatever concerns, frustrations, thoughts, they're just like clouds floating through the sky. And as our thoughts settle, our emotions begin to settle, and we can breathe into our heart space and feel the energy of divine love, the harmonizing energy of Spirit moving in, through, and as us. Every cell in our body is aligned with this vibration of Spirit, doing its perfect work in this very moment. Breathing into the core, we allow our intuition and divine wisdom to speak, listening for that still, small voice. And we make wise and loving decisions for peace within, creating peace in our world, in our relationships, establishing a consciousness of peace for this planet. As we breathe into this present moment, as we rest in the stillness of the silence. There is only one presence and one power active in my life. God, the good, the omnipotence, ever present in this moment. The harmonizing energy of love flows through me and establishes peace of mind, serenity, and joy within. I am one with infinite intelligence, infinite wisdom, and I build within me a reservoir of energy, the spiritual energy of love and wisdom and intelligence, and into it I place any concern. I send this energy out into the world now, surrounding our spiritual community, sending love, harmony, and peace into the world. We send this energy to our friends and family. We send this energy to all of the prayers in our prayer chest, knowing that divine love is doing its perfect work in this very moment. We send this loving, peaceful, harmonizing energy out to all of those who are being affected by the wars in Gaza and Israel and the Ukraine. For all of the unrest throughout this world, we send love and peace and joy. Divine love surrounds this planet from the core to its outer atmosphere, healing and harmonizing, expressing out into the universe as we bless all of creation. And as we do, as we hold this consciousness, we raise this consciousness of the planet. We raise this consciousness to establish peace and joy and prosperity for all people, for all of creation. And for this truth, we are joyfully grateful. We are richly, richly blessed. And we celebrate by singing the Alleluia.